3,000 years ago, the wisest man who ever lived wrote down secrets that could solve almost every problem you'll face. King Solomon discovered 30 powerful truths about money, relationships, and success that still work today. What took him a lifetime to learn, you can discover right now. Lesson 1. Fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. This means respecting God's authority leads to smart decisions. When you acknowledge there's someone greater than you, you make better choices. Think about it like this. When you respect your boss at work, you perform better because you understand there are consequences for your actions. The same principle applies with God. This reverent fear isn't about being scared, but about having deep respect that guides your decisions. Lesson 2. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and don't lean on your own understanding. Stop trying to figure everything out by yourself. Some situations require faith, not just logic. We live in a world that says you must understand everything before you believe it, but Proverbs teaches the opposite. Sometimes you need to trust God's plan even when it doesn't make sense to you. This doesn't mean being foolish, but it recognizing that your perspective is limited while God's is complete. Lesson 3. Honor the Lord with your wealth and your first fruits. Put God first with your money. When you give to God before paying yourself, you learn to trust Him with everything else. Money reveals what you really believe. If you say God is first, but your spending shows something different, then your actions are telling the truth. This principle teaches you to break the power that money has over your heart. When you give first, you declare that God is your source, not your job or your bank account. Lesson 4. A gentle answer turns away anger, but harsh words stir up wrath. Your tone matters more than your words. Staying calm can end arguments before they start. Most fights aren't really about the topic being discussed. They're about tone, respect, and emotions. When someone comes at you with anger and you respond with gentleness, you take the fuel away from the fire. This doesn't mean being weak or passive. It means being strong enough to control your own emotions and influence the situation positively. Lesson 5. Pride goes before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. Arrogance always backfires. The moment you think you're better than others, you're setting yourself up for failure. Pride is dangerous because it blinds you to your own weaknesses and mistakes. When you think you have all the answers, you stop listening to advice. When you believe you're above certain consequences, you stop being careful. History is full of successful people who lost everything because pride convinced them they were untouchable. Lesson 6. Plans fail without counsel, but with many advisors, they succeed. Don't make big decisions alone. Smart people ask for advice before acting. Your perspective is always limited by your own experience and emotions. Other people can see things you miss. This doesn't mean asking everyone's opinion about everything. It means finding wise counselors who care about your success and have experience in the area where you need guidance. The bigger the decision, the more important it becomes to get multiple perspectives. Lesson 7. A friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for adversity. Real friends stick around during tough times. Fair-weather friends disappear when you need them most. True friendship is tested during crisis, not comfort. Anyone can be your friend when things are going well, but real friends show up when you're struggling, when you've made mistakes, or when helping you might cost them something. These are the relationships worth investing in because they provide strength when life gets difficult. Lesson 8. The simple believe anything, but the prudent give thought to their steps. Don't believe everything you hear. Think before you act, and verify before you trust. In our age of information overload, this wisdom is more important than ever. People share opinions as facts, emotions as truth, and assumptions as certainties. Wise people pause to ask questions like, "Is this really true? What's the source? What might I be missing?" This habit of verification protects you from making decisions based on false information. Lesson 10. Better is a little with righteousness than great income with injustice. Having less money honestly is better than having more money dishonestly. Your character matters more than your bank account. Money obtained through dishonest means always comes with hidden costs. It damages your reputation, destroys relationships, creates legal problems, and most importantly, corrupts your character. People who compromise their integrity for money often find that the money doesn't satisfy them the way they thought it would, but the character damage lasts far longer than the financial gain. Lesson 11. Iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. Surround yourself with people who challenge you to grow. Comfortable relationships don't make you stronger. Growth requires friction. Just like iron becomes sharper when rubbed against iron, you become better when you interact with people who push you, challenge your thinking, and refuse to let you settle for mediocrity. This doesn't mean surrounding yourself with people who tear you down, but rather people who care enough to tell you the truth and encourage you to reach your potential. Lesson 12. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Your thoughts and emotions control your actions. Protect what goes into your mind and heart. Your heart is like the control center of your life. Whatever fills it will eventually come out in your words, decisions, and behavior. If you fill your heart with bitterness, you'll become bitter. If you fill it with gratitude, you'll become grateful. This is why it's crucial to be selective about what you watch, read, listen to, and think about. Guard your inputs to protect your outputs. Lesson 13. A hot-tempered person stirs up conflict, but the one who is patient calms a quarrel. Your emotional control determines your success in relationships. Patient people solve problems, while angry people create them. Anger is often a secondary emotion that covers up hurt, fear, or frustration. When you react from anger, you usually make the situation worse. But when you pause, breathe, and respond with patience, you can address the real issue underneath the surface. This skill becomes especially important in marriage, parenting, and workplace relationships where your emotional reactions affect everyone around you. Lesson 14. The tongue has the power of life and death. Your words can build people up or tear them down. Choose carefully because words have lasting impact. Most people underestimate the power of their words. A single sentence can change someone's day, their self-image, or even their life direction. Encouraging words can give someone the confidence to pursue their dreams. Critical words can destroy someone's self-worth for years. This is especially important for parents, teachers, and leaders who have influence over others. Your words are tools that can either build or destroy. Better to live on a corner of the roof than share a house with a quarrelsome wife. Constant conflict at home destroys everything else in your life. Peace at home is worth more than luxury with fighting. This principle applies to any living situation where there's constant conflict. Your home should be your refuge from the stress of the world. When your home becomes a battlefield, it affects your health, your work, your relationships with others, and your relationship with God. Sometimes it's better to have less space, fewer possessions, or a smaller budget if it means having peace where you live. Lesson 16. A person's heart plans their course, but the Lord establishes their steps. Make your plans but stay flexible. God often has better ideas than you do. Planning is important and biblical, but holding your plans too tightly can cause problems. Sometimes God will redirect your path because He sees opportunities or dangers that you can't see. The key is to plan diligently while remaining open to God's guidance. This balance prevents both laziness and rigidity. Plan as if everything depends on you, but trust as if everything depends on God. Lesson 17. The righteous choose their friends carefully, but the way of the wicked leads them astray. Your friends determine your future. Choose people who inspire you to be better, not worse. Friendship is one of life's greatest blessings, but it's also one of the most influential forces in your life. Your friends shape your values, your habits, your goals, and your character. If your friends are constantly complaining, you'll become more negative. If they're always pursuing growth, you'll be motivated to improve. This doesn't mean abandoning friends who are struggling, but it does mean being intentional about who has the most influence in your life. Lesson 18. Whoever walks with the wise becomes wise, but the companion of fools suffers harm. You become like the people you spend time with. If you want to be successful, hang around successful people. This is one of the most practical pieces of advice in all of Proverbs. If you want to improve your finances, spend time with people who are good with money. If you want to strengthen your marriage, learn from couples who have strong marriages. If you want to grow spiritually, connect with people who are serious about their faith. Wisdom is contagious, but so is foolishness. Choose your associations carefully. Lesson 19. A good name is more desirable than great riches. Your reputation is your most valuable asset. It takes years to build and seconds to destroy. Your reputation affects every area of your life. It determines who will hire you, who will do business with you, who will marry you, and who will trust you with important responsibilities. Money can be lost and earned again, but a damaged reputation is much harder to restore. This is why character matters more than achievement. You can succeed temporarily with bad character, but you can't succeed permanently without good character. Lesson 20. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not turn from it. What you teach children when they're young shapes who they become as adults. Early lessons last a lifetime. The first few years of a child's life are incredibly important for their development. During this time, they're forming their basic understanding of right and wrong, developing their self-image, and learning how relationships work. Parents who are intentional about teaching values, character, and wisdom during these early years are investing in their child's future success and happiness. This training includes both instruction and example, because children learn more from what they see than what they hear. Lesson 21. The heart of the discerning acquires knowledge, for the ears of the wise seek it out. Smart people never stop learning. They actively look for new information and insights. Wise people are curious people. They ask questions, read books, listen to podcasts, and seek mentorship because they know that learning never ends. In contrast, foolish people think they already know enough. They stop growing and eventually fall behind. In our rapidly changing world, the ability to learn continuously is more important than what you currently know. Stay curious, stay humble, and keep learning. Lesson 22. All hard work brings a profit, but mere talk leads only to poverty. Action beats conversation every time. Talking about goals doesn't achieve them. Many people spend more time talking about what they're going to do than actually doing it. Planning and discussion have their place, but at some point you have to stop talking and start working. Every type of honest work produces some kind of benefit, even if it's just building character and discipline. But endless talk without action produces nothing except wasted time and lost opportunities. The world rewards people who do, not people who just discuss. Lesson 23. A person who lacks judgment derides their neighbor, but the one who has understanding holds their tongue. Don't judge others when you don't know their situation. Mind your own business. It's easy to criticize others when you only see part of their story. The person you think is lazy might be dealing with depression. The person you think is unfriendly might be going through a difficult time. Wise people recognize that they don't have all the information, so they reserve judgment. Instead of criticizing others, focus on improving yourself. You have enough work to do on your own character without taking on the job of fixing everyone else. Lesson 24. Where there is no revelation, people cast off restraint. Without spiritual guidance, people lose their moral compass. Biblical truth provides boundaries that protect you. When people reject God's standards, they don't become more free, they become more confused. Without clear moral guidelines, everyone does what seems right in their own eyes, which leads to chaos and conflict. God's commands aren't restrictions designed to limit your happiness, they're guardrails designed to keep you safe and help you flourish. Just like traffic laws protect drivers, God's laws protect your relationships, your character, and your future. Lesson 25. Whoever conceals their sins does not prosper, but the one who confesses and renounces them finds mercy. Hiding your mistakes makes them worse. Admitting fault and changing leads to forgiveness. Pride convinces us to cover up our failures, but this strategy always backfires. Hidden sins grow stronger in the darkness of secrecy. They create shame, fear, and isolation. But when you bring your mistakes into the light by confessing them, several things happen. You break the power that shame has over you. You open the door to forgiveness from God and others. And you create accountability that helps you avoid repeating the same mistakes. Lesson 26. The simple inherit folly, but the prudent are crowned with knowledge. Naive people get fooled repeatedly. Wise people learn from mistakes and avoid repeating them. Some people seem to make the same mistakes over and over again. They trust the wrong people, make impulsive decisions, and ignore obvious warning signs. This happens because they don't learn from experience. Wise people, on the other hand, pay attention to patterns. They notice what works and what doesn't. They learn from their own mistakes and from watching others. This ability to learn and adapt is what separates successful people from those who remain stuck in destructive cycles. Lesson 27. A prudent person foresees danger and takes refuge, but the simple keep going and pay the penalty. Smart people see problems coming and prepare. Foolish people ignore warning signs and suffer consequences. Wisdom includes the ability to anticipate problems and take preventative action. This might mean building an emergency fund before you need it, maintaining your health before you get sick, or addressing relationship issues before they become major conflicts. Foolish people ignore these early warning signs and hope problems will just go away. They end up dealing with crises that could have been prevented with a little foresight and preparation.
Lesson 28. Whoever pursues righteousness and love finds life, prosperity, and honor. Living right and loving others brings real success. This isn't just about money, but about genuine fulfillment. True prosperity includes more than financial wealth. It includes good relationships, peace of mind, a clear conscience, and the respect of others. People who make righteousness and love their priorities often find that other blessings follow naturally. They attract trustworthy friends, create stable families, build good reputations, and experience the inner satisfaction that comes from living according to their values. This kind of success lasts longer and satisfies deeper than success built on selfish ambition. Lesson 29. Like a city whose walls are broken through is a person who lacks self-control. Self-discipline protects you from destructive choices. Without it, you're vulnerable to every temptation. In ancient times, a city's walls were its primary defense against enemy attacks. A city with broken walls was defenseless and easily conquered. Self-control serves the same function in your personal life. It protects you from temptations that could destroy your health, your relationships, your finances, and your reputation. People without self-discipline are at the mercy of their impulses, emotions, and circumstances. They make decisions they later regret because they can't say no to immediate gratification.
Lesson 30. She is clothed with strength and dignity. She can laugh at the days to come. This describes a woman of virtue, but the principle applies to everyone. When you live with integrity, you face the future with confidence. People who build their lives on solid principles don't have to worry about their past catching up with them or their choices coming back to haunt them. They can face uncertainty with peace because they know their character will guide them through whatever challenges come. This kind of inner strength and dignity comes from living according to God's standards, not the world's standards. These lessons from Proverbs are more than just good advice. They're God's blueprint for a successful life. Each one has been tested by thousands of years of human experience. When you apply these principles, you're not just following ancient wisdom, you're partnering with God's design for how life really works. Let this be your prayer. Lord, give me the wisdom to apply these truths in my daily life, the strength to make right choices even when they're difficult, and the humility to keep learning and growing in your ways. Comment Amen if you prayed along with me. And if this video helped you understand Proverbs in a new way, give it a thumbs up to help others find these life-changing truths.